today's video, I rank every single Minecraft update, including the ones that some people consider the absolute worst updates in all existence. So to give you some context, I've been playing Minecraft around since the release of 1.9. I know, I'm not a Minecraft OG, I'm sorry. So it's important to note that I was not around to see the updates prior to 1.9. So in the cases of those, I'll just be ranking them purely off of the stuff they provided. Also, I'll be classing updates from Minecraft Alpha onwards, as I'm counting Minecraft 1 as the official release of the game. Still waiting for Minecraft 2. So let's start off with Minecraft Update 1.1, not to be confused with 1.10. Now Minecraft 1.1 seems to be a bit of a miscellaneous update. It adds a bunch of new languages making the game more accessible, and it adds beaches, spawn eggs, and flatlands. In my opinion, nothing that impressive. But it's the introduction of new languages that is still integral to the game to this day. I mean, imagine if you're like a Spanish player, and then you look at this going, Minecraft! Beat it. Minecraft 1.2 saw the introduction of iron golems, all the wacky jungle stuff, and the zombies' ability to commit crimes such as breaking and entering. Also added a handful of redstone shenanigans too. Oh, and how could I forget the new generation of these useless desert wells, but mine shafts aren't that useless, so we'll slap this in B tier too. Looking pretty unbiased at the moment. Update 1.3, or as I like to call it, Village and Pillage number 1. It adds villagers, emeralds, and books and quills to jot down all of your inevitable crimes against villager kind. Though I still think they should have done rubies. I mean, come on, there are no red ores in the game, even to this day. And as much as I love green, even I must confess that this looks a lot cooler than these. But hey! Also at this point, I moved the language update down to C tier as it didn't add any new blocks to the game because, believe it or not, in a block game, I like to have new blocks! Minecraft 1.4 is known as the super scary, saucy imposter update! What it provided to the lovely, not scary world of Minecraft was witches, bats, zombie villagers, and wearable and placeable heads. Yeah. Oh, and how could I forget, the blimmin' Wither boss! Oh yeah! And all the relevant items that came with it, such as the beacons, Wither Star, and all that good stuff. Good stuff, including being able to ride pigs, woo! The best update so far. Minecraft 1.5 is, the confusing update, because this is the update that introduced all of the complicated redstone stuff, like comparators, repeaters, hoppers, all that funky stuff that 6 years later would be utilized to make a walking blimmin' house! And probably replicate the human conscience a few years into the future. Oh, and also introduced quartz, which would inevitably become the basic, ooh, I'm rich block for years to come. I find the update confusing, but the possibilities it lends itself to lands it in A tier. Not looking too bad so far. 1.6 literally just adds horses and leads and stuff. First time resource packs have been introduced, carpets were slapped into the game also, and coal blocks were invented. It's not particularly awe-inspiring stuff. Horses and leads are useful, I suppose, but I mean, you know, they're not groundbreaking additions. I'd give it low B tier, because at least it adds more than new languages. 1.7, the update that changed the world, both literally and metaphorically. It added a ton of new biomes, the mesa, savanna, dark oak forest, birch forest, tiger, and so many more. And it also lended itself to the grand reveal of acacia wood, dark oak wood, and all the resultant features that came as a cause of these introductions. Furthermore, it also gave us stuff like stained glass and a few other blocks that you'll use occasionally. Every fortnight if you're lucky. 1.8, the PvP version. Though at the time it did absolutely nothing to PvP, but it did add these exciting blocks, woo! It did add all the ocean monument stuff too, along with banners, and even signified the introduction of the iconic Minecraft mob, the Endermite. No. But I'm honestly a fan of all the ocean stuff they slapped in, so this saves the update into a low A tier. But oh boy, 1.9, what a dumpster fire that was. There were riots, there was bloodshed, there was anarchy over an update that actually wasn't all that bad. If you can find the heart and soul to ignore the changes to the combat system, the stuff it did add to the end was great. Chorus fruit, end cities, purple bricks, and of course, the literal wings that allow you to fly! Yes, the update is held back by its changes to the combat system, but all of the stuff that it did add to the end made it good enough to beat out the horse update at least. 1.10, however, is forgettable. The game could live without retextured skeletons and zombies. Magma blocks had no purpose until 1.13, and these new nether blocks, while having a nice colour, felt a tad bit out of place until the nether update came out 4 years later. The only part of this update I could genuinely remember without Google was the inclusion of polar bears, D tier. 1.11 was essentially just the woodland mansions and all the associated items that went with them, like Totems of Undying. I enjoy the features, but honestly there just aren't enough of them to place them higher than 1.9. 1.12 was similar to 1.10 in the sense as to where it's forgettable. I remember concrete being a controversial decision because it wasn't Minecrafty enough, and that's sort of it. It made the game way brighter and way more colourful, so I understand the purpose of the update, but if you want more colour, resource packs have been in the game since 1.6, just sort it out yourself! But now the updates just get absolutely insane! 1.13, the Aquatic update, dude, I was hyped for this update. The coral reefs, the dolphins, the blooming turtle. The only thing I wasn't personally fond of upon initial release were the tridents, but then I got one, and oh boy! Slap riptide onto that lad, and let's just say cancel all plans, because I'm married to this thing. S tier. S tier stands for absolutely sick. And the year after, they came out with another absolutely brilliant update. 1.14, Village and Pillage. Completely reworking the villager trading system. The Pillagers are a great expansion upon the lore established in 1.11, and overall, a really great follow-up to an already great update. S tier. But oh boy, where did it all go wrong? 1.15, we don't need bees! You see this? Walking house without honey blocks, they aren't integral! We could live without bees, just remove bees, there is no point to them. In fact, there is so little point, I'm slapping it into the absolutely useless tier, because I'm sorry, that's just what this update is. They redeemed themselves with another update though, because this update was absolutely groundbreaking. The Warped Forest, the Crimson Forest, the Piglins, Bastions, and this absolute bop of a music disc deserves nothing less of an S tier. The most recent updates, 1.17 and 1.18 though, if they were one update, it would be instant S tier, but they split them. I understand why, but for me personally, I wouldn't have minded a longer wait if it meant that we could have just gotten the whole thing in one go. And the features of 1.17 were nice, but largely unimpressive without the generation of 1.18. And the warden being removed from this update really hinders it too. They're still decent updates, don't get me wrong, but if Mojang took their time to produce all that we were showing at Minecon in one cohesive update, it could have been far, far better. High A tier for the pair of them. Finally, the Wild update. It's not out yet, but based off of the stuff from Minecon, the warden seems to be an absolute behemoth of a boss. And the swamp stuff, while I'm not personally hyped for it, it's a nice inclusion. And to be fair, I was one of the people who voted swamp in the original biome vote. So I mean, you know, A tier. But look, what do you guys think? I'll leave the link to this exact tier list in the description below. But your opinions better agree exactly with mine, or else.